Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Mini Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out Speed Cat Spectrum, a three-dimensional runner game, and obviously one with a lot of psychedelic imagery, as you can see by this title screen here. The developer warned us, if you have any issues with epilepsy or photosensitivity, you may want to look away on this one. It's obviously very bright and colorful and all those things, and that's kind of what attracted me to it a little bit, to be perfectly honest. And also, the soundtrack is not that bad either from the little bit that I've heard, although not the most complex game or anything by any means. It is certainly the type of thing that I like to get in on. So why don't we check out, very briefly here, the credits. Speed Cat Spectrum by Bros Before Giraffes, created by Dominic Nelson. And there's the rest of the information. And of course, options menus are always good as well. We've got controls, we've got presets, we've got moving around. Should probably be aware of some of these, right? So move left is on left and right arrow, jump is on space, use item left shift. Okay, I can kind of handle this. We're gonna be doing one of those like pinky shift moves with the thumb on the space, I guess. We've got sounds and all the music already set up the way we want. We can swap the menu music and game audio, so that way I guess the one switches to the other. I mean, that's what it says, quite apparently. And of course, we've got resolution settings, draw FPS, full screen on and off, and VSync. I was recommended to have VSync on. Of course, I usually am of the type that I would have it on. So let's start around here. I can log into Game Jolt if I choose. I'm not going to do so. I guess that's for leaderboards and things. I do have a local score already set of 1,048. This is my best run. I've done about 2 or 3 runs of this game just to see how it goes. There are stats. Oh, I didn't know that there were stats. Games played, apparently 5 runs. I stand corrected. Rings passed 22, rings missed 5, coins collected 11, power-ups collected 5. Alright, well, you get the idea. Let's actually see how to play. Oh, that's a lot of text. I guess we can actually just probably play the game and we'll figure it out. So we're going to play as a psychedelic kitty, as the title suggests. It's really, that's all we're going to be doing, is running down this lane here, trying our best not to run into walls. Runs can be rather short, as you can tell. There's some collision issues I've noticed on occasion, and I'm not sure if it's actually a real issue or if it's just me that's kind of bad. Probably the second one. But yeah, I seem to have run into walls on a lot of the runs that I've done things on, just because I just kind of misjudged how long I need to be ahead of the game before things will register properly. Also, I'm not sure where the collision happens exactly. Oh, I missed some coins there. See, like, something like that seems unbeatable. Like, you can't necessarily do that correctly. And also, there doesn't seem to be a way to just automatically retry without moving your mouse cursor over, which I find kind of weird, considering you're playing the game using the arrow keys and spacebar, and then you got to keep moving your hand over to the mouse again. And maybe I'm just wrong on that. Maybe there is a way to do it, but I'm not quite sure what that is. But yeah, our cat seems to have some kind of pudgy frames next to him that seem to cause him to hit into stuff. That was a power-up, and that's kind of what makes this a unique experience. There are actually some power-ups, and ones that are going to change the game in a semi-meaningful way. Situation like that, I want to hit far on the left if possible. Okay, I gotta move kind of quickly here. And in sort of a Mario Kart fashion, we've got a power-up that I'm going to activate as soon as things get too hectic. Or no, maybe it's already gone into play. Okay, I don't actually get to activate that one. So far left again. Whenever you can take the guesswork out of when to jump or where exactly you need to be horizontally situated, I think that is preferential. You know, I have to say, the music to this reminds me a little bit of Super Hexagon, which is kind of good, because I love the music in Super Hexagon, to be perfectly honest. Multiplier boost. That's going to get us a real nice score all of a sudden. I've already beat my high score. I guess it didn't take very long. Okay, there we go. And things are moving along quickly. I didn't follow my own rule there and get over to the far side. What do I want to do with these bombs? I guess maybe I want to try shooting that at a wall. Oh yeah, we can blow up the walls. That's kind of what I figured it would do, but that'll be how we can get to some of those rings that we can't traditionally reach. Oh, I guess I missed that ring. I kind of thought I hadn't, but I did. You know, I've covered a number of these 3D runner-style games, and most of the time I seem to enjoy them. They're pretty, like a pretty simple formula to follow to very likely produce some sort of enjoyable experience. As long as the controls are reasonably okay, and the actual diversity of what goes on in the game well, if that's a thing that is something that happens, like if there is a lot to see, and perhaps maybe even some sort of unlockable something or other that keeps you coming back, I think there's a good chance that I'll play quite a few rounds of whatever the game happens to be. My eyes are starting to get a little bit bugged out from looking at that spirally circle gradient rainbow. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of harsh on the eyes. I think we can all agree. I also wish I could see the cat in better detail, or maybe if it left like some sort of rainbow contrail behind it would be kind of nice as well. But, you know, visual effects are pretty much fine. Also, you know what would really help a lot is if after a certain period of time or a certain amount of points or whatever you want to really have it be, maybe the ground texture changes up a little bit just to give you this sort of an artificial sense of progression. I would liken it to something like maybe Tetris, how after each level, all the block colors all change. It's not that the game is really changed at all, it's the exact same game, although a little bit faster. Well, we're actually producing a very similar effect here. Oh no, I guess I was leaning a little bit far to the right on that one. But yeah, it's just the changing of colors is just enough sometimes to make people notice that they've made some kind of meaningful difference in their game. And, well, meaningful as in you even are aware of it. In this case, it just feels like we're on this endless route. Could be Snake Way, could not be, who knows. You know, we'll see the end if we see it, and that didn't seem fair to me. I totally went through that ring. It just did not give me any credit for it. That's not going to work out, obviously. Poor kitty cat runs into walls. What's the matter with this poor thing? And I just want to kind of stop talking for a second so maybe you have a chance at hearing some of the background music, because it's pretty enjoyable. I enjoy it enough that I actually, in my takes of trying to get something worth starting out on, I was actually singing along to it, and, you know, it turned out kind of embarrassing, so we're not going to listen to it again, but I do that on occasion. Sometimes I find a particularly interesting track, and I just want to hum or sing or whistle or something to it. Anyway, yeah, I'll be quiet for a second. Anyway, I think you get the idea. It is enjoyable music to listen to. We got a moon jump! That's going to screw me up pretty well. Because now all of a sudden, the amount of time that I am going to be spending in the air is drastically increased. Albeit not for particularly long, but it kind of means that I'm going to really misjudge my jumps quite often, and that's a big problem for me, being that I'm a psychedelic rainbow cat. Kind of reminds me a little bit of 3D Maze Runner, or 3D World Runner, actually. I think that's what it's called, for the NES. It's a game where you're eternally in a battle to try and jump over some gaps in the ground, and, well, most of the time you'll fall in. But, you know, it's that kind of a game. I guess maybe that was one of the very first 3D runners. Imagine that, an NES game originating that kind of a genre. So there's my stats. You saw my scores. You get the idea. This is how you play Speed Cat Spectrum. If you want to try it out yourself, it is totally free to try. There is no payment necessary, is what I'm trying to say. Link's going to be in the description. Let me know what your high scores are if you have a particularly fantastic run. I'm kind of curious, like, how fast does this game get? It probably gets pretty hardcore. And then I imagine this little bit of a squidgy nature to the way your cat maneuvers around those edges might end up being a bit of a problem, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that is another day's worth of Indie Impressions. If you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like on the video. It helps me out a whole bunch. Again, link for the game itself is in the description, as well as my other social media links. So if you want to find out more about me or the series, you can feel free to check out that stuff. Of course, indie-impressions.com is the website where all of my episodes get aggregated, and you can go find over 750 other episodes of Indie Impressions. So it's pretty much an indie game for just about whatever you're in the mood for. And of course, you can sort them by free or paid or specific platforms, whatever you're into. You can find exactly what you're after, hopefully as quickly as possible. So anyway, I will let you go for another day. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you back for another episode tomorrow, because new episodes go up every single day. So I hope I will see you then, and I hope you have a fantastic night. Talk to you later, everybody.